What if some of the biggest secrets of the ancient world were still waiting beneath our feet? In 2026, archaeologists opened hidden chambers, uncovered enormous ancient settlements, discovered artwork created tens of thousands of years ago, and found evidence that is forcing scientists to rethink what they thought they knew about ancient civilizations. From a mysterious chamber sealed for around 40,000 years, to an ancient settlement in the Andes that is several times larger than Machu Picchu, and a tiny cave painting that may be more than 67,000 years old. These aren't legends. They are discoveries being investigated today. And the final discovery on this list may be one of the most surprising of them all. This is the story of the greatest archaeological discoveries of 2026. So far, deep inside Gibraltar's Vanguard Cave, archaeologists made a discovery that sounds almost impossible. Behind compacted sediment, researchers found access to a previously sealed chamber, a space that had apparently remained closed for roughly 40,000 years. That means the chamber may have been hidden since the Paleolithic period, when Neanderthals still occupied parts of Europe. The discovery is important because caves can preserve traces of ancient human activity that would disappear completely in open environments. Researchers are now studying what the chamber contains and what it might reveal about the Neanderthals who once used this landscape. But there is something particularly fascinating about the discovery. The chamber wasn't simply sitting in plain sight. Years so accumulated for generations. Not Bodiner Hathwentwise, and no archaeologists to investigate a space that may have remained untouched since the prehistoric world. The question is, what were Neanderthals doing inside? And what else might still be hidden deeper inside the cave? The excavation is ongoing, and the answers could tell us much more about one of humanity's closest ancient relatives. High in the Peruvian Andes, archaeologists are investigating an ancient Inca settlement that could change how we understand the final years of the Inca Empire, known as Tacraculo. Structures spread across roughly 43 acres, an area around 4 times larger than Machu Picchu, perched dramatically above the Apermac. For centuries, another legendary Inca site known as Aconcagua existed mainly in historical accounts and local traditions, but archaeologists are now investigating whether discoveries in this region could help connect those old accounts with physical evidence and adapt it to the political turmoil that marked the final phase of their empire. While Machu Picchu Sifosen, discovery Escutorquaqual remind us that the Inca world was far larger than a single famous citadel, and summarizaments. Archaeologists may still be uncovering pieces of a story that has remained incomplete for nearly 5 centuries. On the Indonesian island of Muna, scientists have been studying an astonishing piece of prehistoric art. It isn't a giant statue, and it isn't a golden artifact. It's a simple hand stencil on a cave wall, but its age is extraordinary. Researchers dated the artwork to at least 67,800 years ago. If that dating holds, it represents the oldest known non-figurative cave painting, currently verified by Guinness World Records. Think about what that means. This artwork was created tens of thousands of years before the pyramids, thousands of generations before written history, and yet, someone stood inside this cave and deliberately left a mark. The artwork belongs to a wider group of Paleolithic paintings found in the region, and its discovery adds to growing evidence that humans were producing symbolic art much earlier than many people once imagined. But the most fascinating part isn't necessarily the hand itself. It's the question behind it. Why did someone make it? Was it a personal mark, a ritual, a symbol, or simply an expression of identity? We may never know. The person who created it left no written explanation, only a handprint, frozen in time for more than 67,000 years. In Sudan, archaeologists using satellite imagery uncovered hundreds of massive prehistoric burial sites across the Ape Desert. More than 260 burial monuments have been identified, and researchers believe they belong to a prehistoric nomadic society, dating back around 6,000 years. The discovery is especially important because the desert landscape can make archaeological remains incredibly difficult to find from the ground. From above, however, ancient structures become visible circular formations, burial monuments, and patterns hidden beneath the modern landscape. Together, these discoveries suggest that parts of the Sahara were home to complex communities long before the region became the extremely dry environment we know today. But there is another problem. The archaeological sites are now threatened by modern activity, including an expanding gold rush. That means archaeologists are racing against time. Every buried monument contains information about people who lived thousands of years ago, their movements, their burial traditions, their environment, and their relationship with the landscape that looked completely different. In the distant past, the desert may appear empty today, but beneath it lies evidence that it was once anything but empty. Imagine walking across an ordinary field in England and discovering that beneath the soil lies a luxurious Roman villa that hasn't been seen for approximately 16 centuries. That is what archaeologists uncovered in Devon. The site contains an extraordinary mosaic measuring around 12 square meters, with thousands of small stone pieces carefully arranged into an elaborate multicolored design. But the mosaic wasn't the only surprise. Archaeologists also discovered evidence of a sophisticated bathhouse, plunge pools built using Roman concrete, painted plaster, pottery, and high-status objects. One discovery was a carved gemstone depicting the goddess Victory, while another was a silver-plated spoon. These finds suggest that the people living here belonged to a wealthy section of Roman Britain, and the location makes the discovery even more interesting. The villa was far from the major centers we usually associate with Roman luxury, yet its architecture and decoration show that elite Roman lifestyles had reached even this part of Britain. For more than 1,000 years, the villa disappeared beneath farmland. Its walls collapsed, its rooms were forgotten, but the mosaic remained. And now, archaeologists are working to reconstruct the story of the people who once walked across it. Near the Colosseum in Rome, archaeologists uncovered a 2nd century building that may have belonged to one of the most important emergency forces of the Roman Empire, the Vigiles. These men were responsible for fighting fires and maintaining order during the night. Inside the newly uncovered structure, archaeologists found mosaics and colorful frescoes. One decoration shows marine creatures, including a dolphin, fish, lobster, and crab, surrounding a two-handled vessel. Another painted ceiling contains striking red and blue circular designs. The decorations are surprisingly elaborate, and that creates an intriguing mystery. Was this really a barracks for the Roman firefighters, or was it actually a wealthy private residence? Researchers are now comparing the structure with another known Vigiles barracks at Ostia, and the similarities are intriguing. However, archaeologists have not yet reached a final conclusion, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes archaeology fascinating. A building can appear to tell one story until new evidence completely changes its interpretation. If this structure is eventually confirmed as a Vigiles barracks, it could provide a rare glimpse into the organization and daily life of the people responsible for protecting ancient Rome from fire. Nearly 2,000 years later, these ancient walls may finally be speaking again. Our final discovery takes us to ancient China. Archaeologists discovered an ancient fermented drink sealed inside a bronze vessel, with the liquid dating back roughly 2,300 years. What makes this extraordinary is not simply the age of the vessel, but the possibility of studying an ancient beverage that survived sealed for more than 2 millennia. Food and drink rarely survive that long because organic materials normally disappear, but when something becomes sealed under the right conditions, archaeology can sometimes recover astonishing traces of ancient daily life. A drink like this can reveal more than what people consume. Scientists can investigate its ingredients, its production methods, and potentially the technologies ancient communities used for fermentation. It gives archaeologists something that stones and monuments cannot provide: a direct connection to everyday life. Because history isn't only about kings, wars, and enormous temples. It's also about ordinary things: what people ate, what they drank, how they prepared food, and what they considered important enough to preserve. More than 2,000 years ago, someone sealed this vessel. They could never have imagined that archaeologists, in the modern world, would one day open it and use it to investigate the forgotten technology of their civilization. From a chamber hidden for 40,000 years, to an Inca settlement larger than Machu Picchu, from artwork more than 67,000 years old, to Roman luxury buried beneath an English field, 2026 is proving that the ancient world is far from finished revealing its secrets. And perhaps that's the most exciting part. Every discovery answers one question, but creates several more. Who built it? Why was it abandoned? What happened to the people who lived there? And how many more sites are still waiting beneath forests, deserts, mountains, and modern cities? Archaeology doesn't simply uncover the past. Sometimes, it changes the story we thought we already knew and remembered. These are only the greatest discoveries reported so far in 2026. There may be much bigger discoveries still waiting before the year ends. If you want to see them when they happen, subscribe to Mystery World, because the next mystery could already be buried beneath our feet.